What is up, YouTube? Gentry 101 back with another video. So what are we going to be doing on this video? We're going to be doing some track day prep just because the 135 is plagued with all kinds of terrible suspension issues. If you can see behind me, we have the upside down Whiteline. So we're going to be doing these subframe bushing inserts from Whiteline. Got these off of SCP Euro, just like 95% of the parts that I buy for any of my vehicles. So these are going to, essentially you got to lower down the subframe. They're going to go into the bottom. These are going to go into the voids of the actual factory soft bushing, and then these are going to go onto the top. They do come with some pretty awesome instructions, but they do have part numbers, and you can clearly see the part numbers on the, I don't know if you clearly can see them, but I can clearly see them actually stamped into the urethane inserts. And then in the instructions, it'll tell you which one of those inserts go where. So I lifted up the vehicle via jack on the diff, put some stands under there on the actual BMW lift blocks. It feels like it's pretty sturdy. So hopefully we don't die in this. If you guys don't see this video, I probably didn't make it. Just joking, I'm not gonna jinx that. But realistically, you gotta get the wheels off, 17 millimeter. Unless you have some kind of crazy aftermarket lug nuts or wheel studs on there. And once we go from there, you're going to need a E18. Realistically, that's about it. I don't think we'll have to drop the exhaust. It might be enough clearance. I'm going to see. I guess you guys will be able to find out. So stay tuned. Okay, upon further inspection, there is an 18 millimeter here, and then you'll remove 3 8 millimeters. And then there'll be 2 16s under here. So, I mean, just common sense. I mean, here's the front part of our subframe. We got a brace and another brace. So that tells me that obviously those are gonna have to come off in order to drop this down. Otherwise, I mean, what are we gonna do? Now we're gonna be pushing against this, potentially bending this brace and potentially bending that brace, and obviously I don't wanna do that. And here you can see the voids in the bushings that we're gonna be filling, and they actually go the whole way through. So what I'm going to do is a quick time lapse and get these loosened, put the jack underneath the diff, and then loosen the back 18 millimeters all the way out, so that way we can then start getting our inserts over there. I want to do those first. They're the easiest, or appear to be the easiest, and then we will get on to the front. just like that, the rear subframe bushing inserts are done. No, I'm joking. So the battery died, and I honestly did not realize it. I had it on time lapse. I was playing music, so I did not even hear the thing beep that the battery was dying. So I apologize about that. But what I had to do is, you know, I'm pretty sure you could see the struggle that was going on. And I haven't seen the footage yet, so we'll see how much of that I'll actually edit in that you can see versus me bumping around the camera and moving around, you know, and you won't be able to actually see what's going on. Clearly, I'll cut that out because it'll be just pointless footage. So what I'm going to do then, I guess, is make this a two-part video as far as, like, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck suspension upgrades that you can do for the 135 or 128, especially if you plan on doing any type of like high performance driving. Not necessarily saying like racing or anything like that, but you know, again, just high performance driving, autocrossing, that kind of thing. Definitely, you know, the first thing is going to be those rear subframe the first thing it's going to be is those rear subframe bushing inserts. And then this number two thing, in my opinion, just based off of, you know, previous driving experience in different vehicles and based off of different reviews on subforums, is a front sway bar. So in this either two-part video or in this part of the video, what I'm going to be doing is installing the front sway bar, and that is going to be from Eibach, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so we have the vehicle safely jacked up and sitting on jack stands. Doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. We do have to remove the front splash shield, which is just an assortment of 8mm. In my particular case, I need a 17mm wrench and a 16mm socket to loosen the sway bar end leaks from the sway bar, and a 13mm for the actual sway bar. Jump right on and get this 16mm and 17 off of here. And with the power of editing, this should only take a couple seconds. So the Eibach kit utilizes the stock sway bar end leaks, which will be perfectly acceptable. Sometimes you gotta jiggle the handle a little bit to get those end links actually off. And now we're gonna move on to the 4 13mm holding the rest of the sway bar to the actual subframe. Make sure that you do something to support this as you're taking it down so it doesn't come down and split your face. They're not like terribly heavy, but I mean, it's obviously not gonna feel good when it comes down and smacks you in the face. It'll definitely be a, you know, wake you up in the morning type of situation. All right, so when going back in, and then we kind of got the bar upside down. So what we're gonna do is you gotta slide it between the thrust arm or the front control arm and the actual tie rods or part of the steering rack. So we're gonna go up this way and wiggle back around, and then it'll mount back up. So what I need to do now is we're going to get these brackets off. Don't need the bushings, don't need the sway bar. We're going to reuse the brackets. Again, we're going to reuse the sway bar end links. And yeah, we're going to get all this done. This is a pretty quick, easy job that anybody who's ever changed oil, in my opinion, will be able to take care of this at home in their own garage. Okay, so we got these 13s on there. I'm sure you could see me fiddling around. What I was trying to do is make sure I got these gaps correct. And with the very precise German measuring tool, a 13mm socket, and make sure our clearances are even. And they are. So look at that. Yay! So now we just gotta tighten up this the 16 millimeter while holding the 17 millimeter that's sitting right there. 16, 17. Tighten up the 13s and get the splash shield back on both wheels and the body tray, and we can go have some fun. Alrighty, so we have the Whiteline rear subframe bushings, or not bushings, excuse me, bushing inserts installed, and the Eibach front sway bar. So I'm just doing a quick test drive, see if we have any like knocks, rattles, you know, anything that is, well, not how it should be. Right off the bat, I mean, just pulling out of the garage, you know, there was just ever so slightly like the littlest bit of difference in feel in the rear. Up front though, as soon as there's that actual level change, you can feel a difference up front. I can only imagine what this is gonna feel like, you know, down the road at some point in time when I find a suspension setup that suits both myself and my wife for not just our style of driving, but high performance driving. And here we're gonna do a speed table. So no abnormal noises. Front end feels pretty planted. So down this road, there are some not speed tables, but there are these like pretty aggressive divots in the road. So we're gonna see if we get any popping or anything like this. Nothing. So everything feels pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I mean, obviously I wasn't expecting any drastic change just from, you know, driving down some random roads, but what this will give me to, or let me do now, is I've been driving it for a couple miles, and now I can go back and I can recheck and re-torque everything down as needed. And we're gonna have another SCCA event coming up pretty soon. I think it's in a week or two. I gotta double check and see, but I'm pretty excited about that. I know my wife is as well. But that'll be the true test, because I think we're gonna be doing the same white course as last month. So we'll be able to see if I can shave some time off and see if this, you know, at least for SCCA related things, if the front sway bar and the Whiteline subframe bushing inserts do make a difference. So stay tuned for the SCCA video, and we'll see how we actually do with that. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in, for watching. Always be sure you leave a like, comment, and I appreciate any new and previous subscribers for tuning in. You know, sharing definitely helps me, or I guess motivates me to want to do more. So